to this interesting live stream that we have right now. So we've been talking a lot about Tulsi Gabbard and how the DNC has been against her since the first time she actually entered into this race, and how corporate media has been basically sabotaging her character and basically using nothing but smear campaigns towards her. Now, it's very important to note that with Representative Tulsi Gabbard, she's continuing to push forwards for her campaign, and she's getting her message out there. But this is something we've said on the show time and time again, and that is the DNC is going to do something to hurt progressives or any kind of independent at all. So what do I mean by this? And I'm still trying to wrap my head around this because this is just disgusting, and it has some bigger concerns, especially later on down the road for the primary. So Tulsi Gabbard announced that she qualified for a third poll to make it for the fourth debate stage. However, the DNC, basically the Democratic National Committee, has confirmed that it is looking for a different set of respondents, and the poll that showed her qualifying above 2% will not count for her. Now, this is an article from 538. I want to make this very clear again that this is, again, the DNC is choosing to ignore Tulsi Gabbard succeeding in the polls. So the fourth debate is scheduled for October 15th and possibly October 16th. The DNC has not confirmed whether it will use a second debate night now that there are more than 10 candidates that are qualified. The qualification thresholds are the same as those for the third debate. Now, mind you, we have said this on the show, Tulsi Gabbard has met those requirements, but according to the DNC rules, those polls where it showed Tulsi Gabbard above 2% or her succeeding are being ignored by the DNC and being thrown out. And mind you, three of those polling sources are reputable sources that are used by other media outlets. So it's very interesting to see how the DNC is starting to basically chip away at people, especially progressives, that have a very strong following. So again, to qualify for the fourth debate, similar to the third debate, candidates must attract both 2% support in 4 qualifying national or early state polls released between June 28th and October 1st, collect contributions from 130,000 unique donors, including at least 400 individual donors in at least 20 states. And given these rules, the 10 candidates who qualify for the third debate will automatically go into the fourth debate. However, there's one person who has actually made it to the fourth debate who was not qualified for the third debate, and that is Tom Steyer, because he recently got his qualification for other 2 polls. It's very interesting, though, that Representative Tulsi Gabbard, who is still gaining a lot of momentum, has a huge following on social media, who has been on numerous independent media networks, has been on national television sources as well, who has a lot of name recognition, is again somehow not qualifying to be on the debate stage. I'll get to why I'm really concerned about what this means in the long run, especially for progressives in this 2020 election cycle that will be coming up to us. So again, the candidates that made it for the fourth debate are Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, Beto O'Rourke, Andrew Yang, Julian Castro, Amy Klobuchar, and now Tom Steyer. Tulsi Gabbard, however, is still being denied. Now, she has expressed frustrations about the DNC and how they're committing election fraud, and or not really committing election fraud, but they're just basically playing favoritism. Now, what do I mean by election fraud, though? Because this is what I'm really concerned about. If the DNC is willing to do all this and more just to stop, the field of candidates from being on the debate stage and having Americans hear their voices, I'm wondering what else they're about to do down the road. We have interviewed congressional candidates, and we've interviewed people who are progressives and activists, and there's a lot of concern about the DNC establishment as well as the DCCC. Mind you, especially for congressional candidates, the DCCC has stated that they're going to support incumbents, even those Democrats that vote Republican. Wrap your head around that. I feel that personally that the DNC establishment is about to somewhat put their weight on the scale and try and stop progressives from going even further. And that means also in the long run for this presidential election cycle, try and derail the Senator Bernie Sanders campaign. Because what they're doing to Representative Tulsi Gabbard right now, be prepared to see them do that to Senator Bernie Sanders, who's going to be in this for a long run. He has the political infrastructure and the resources necessary and the support to go all the way to the convention in Milwaukee in 2020. what the DNC is doing to represent Tulsi Gabbard is disgusting. She has voice, she has power, and I think with the DNC, especially as they're trying to protect their establishment favorites, they want to make sure that no other candidate is destroyed, like how Kamala Harris was destroyed on the second debate night. It's the DNC establishment does not have the power it did in 2016, but whatever power they will have, they are going to use it. And they want to control a narrative. They want to make sure that no one is hearing about a change in how the Democrats run things. Look, recently, Mayor Rahm Emanuel was on ABC talking against Medicare for all. The DNC is going to do everything they can to control progressive policies, progressive point of views, and try and derail anything that Senator Bernie Sanders has done. I don't like how this is going and where this is going to end up. I'll say this again. Representative Tulsi Gabbard has earned her spot in the third debate stage, but I'm not making the rules. And I hate saying it, but she's not going to be there on the third debate night. She should be there. She must be there. I feel that her voice needs to be heard and more Americans need to hear her voice. But it's not the case. And now as we get close to, as when September ends and we get close to the fourth debate, I wonder what else the DNC will do to say that she doesn't qualify in certain polls right now. Again, this is just an article that came out from 538. It's not over yet, and at least according to a few statements online on social media and from her campaign, Representative Tulsi Gabbard has stated that she is going to be in this fight for the long run as well. That's good, but I do hope that she can make it to the fourth debate. It's really astonishing to see how corporate media has actually helped with this narrative as well in trying to discredit a candidate that has served in the military, that called out the DNC for their clear corruption, and someone who's actually able to build a strong coalition. It's surprising just how many supporters Representative Tulsi Gabbard has from different backgrounds. Because in American politics, especially as you go into the general election, politics 101, you want to earn people's votes. You want to earn everyone, especially those who probably would vote against you. You want to earn their vote and convince them that you are the better candidate. Now, Representative Tulsi Gabbard and Senator Bernie Sanders has what it takes to reach out to conservatives, libertarians, and Republicans, and liberals, Democrats, socialists, independents. They have what it takes. And the DNC is going to assume that someone like Biden, whom they're all in for, or Kamala Harris, or Cory Booker, or Pete Buttigieg, or Beto O'Rourke has what it takes to unite that kind of same coalition. They don't. They take corporate donations. They're neoliberal Democrats. Representative Tulsi Gabbard and Senator Bernie Sanders are not. They're able to tell people what they think, and they're authentic with their voting record, they're authentic with their personalities, and when they speak, they're speaking from actual truths. And they're actually addressing problems that every American is dealing with. We have a problem with infrastructure. We have a problem with student debt. Climate change is a real issue. And numerous other issues that you don't really hear the corporate Democrats really talking about. It's not over yet. There's still time for Representative Tulsi Gabbard to make it to the fourth debate stage. And I feel that, yeah, she could make it there. But be prepared, everyone, to see the DNC pull a few more tricks just to stop another person from being on the debate stage. It's a way for them to do crowd control. It's a way for them to narrow down the field. But her voice is needed. And she's somebody new. And she's somebody who's able to get people's attention. Because when she speaks, a lot of Americans are listening. But it's not over yet. So with that being said, thank you all for joining this short live stream. It's a little sad news to read about, but there is always still hope. With that being said, though, I want to just remind everyone that Hard Lens Media, we will be making a lot of new changes. We will be having our shows now Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We haven't made that change yet. We are still moving into our new studio. So we're still kind of running on the same program right now. But if you support independent media, please consider being a Patreon supporter. Your support will go miles for us. It really helps us out so we can build something that hasn't been seen in the city in Chicago, and that is a strong, progressive, independent media network covering stories that corporate media will not cover. This is Kit. Peace, everyone. Let's all do what we can to build a better future.